up, everybody? Welcome back to a Six-Man Blitz episode. I got my boy, Mr. Zach Henderson. We ready to break down some college football, some NFL, a little bit of everything, some Bears too, hopefully. But we got a great show for you guys today. How we doing today, Mr. Zach Henderson?
Hey man, great. Thank you for having me on, man.
Appreciate you for joining. Let's get started with some NFL football championship weekend. What were your thoughts on the Patriots Broncos game? Snow blizzard, bro. Fourth quarter was
Man,
crazy.
I'm not mad at the Patriots winning. Um,
Me either.
not mad at them being in the Super Bowl, but I do think though how it was looking first half, Broncos could have won if that weather didn't change.
Stidham, bro. He was cooking
Yeah,
them in the first half.
he was not looking bad at all. They played I kept saying like throughout the first and second quarter, I'm like, they're playing a lot better than I expected them to play.
Defensively
Once that
too.
weather turned, it was a different game.
Yeah, and it's like in that circumstances, it's hard for you to get a field goal. It's hard for you to get anything. If you
Any
have the lead at that point, you won.
Yeah, points are at a premium, and once the weather turns.
Yeah, so it made it tough that they went for it on fourth down. I think they were in the red zone, and then there was a turnover on downs. They should have went for a field goal in that situation and proved to be costly because what was it, 10-7?
Yeah, that was the final.
So it was tough with that. I think the Patriots defense is elite as fuck. Mike Vrabel, they deserve all the credit in the world for how they got to that situation. But look at Drake May. What are your thoughts on Drake May, bro?
I mean, his numbers weren't good, but I mean, like,
86 yards.
yeah, but I mean, then again, like we just talked about, it's hard to do anything in that kind of weather, especially in the second half. But in the first half, he still wasn't playing well. They couldn't get anything going in the first half, but um, I mean, he won the game, and I guess that's what matters, especially as a quarterback. That's what we look at. How can you win the game in whatever elements?
He
So
got that first down. That was nice.
But yeah,
But yeah,
that was a great play call.
yeah, it was
That
beautiful
was a
by
great
Josh
play call.
McDaniels.
Yeah.
65 yards rushing, I think he had. But what are your thoughts on people saying, the whole Mickey Mouse playoff run, him getting carried, and, just his
Ah,
playoff success this year?
I mean, I'll say, like, they didn't play any competition really throughout the season, so they had an easy road to the playoff, but, I mean, you can't blame them for that. It's not like college football where you kinda pick who your
Right.
non-conference games are, so, I mean, you can't really fault him for that, but at the end of the day, he still even still with a quote unquote easy schedule, they still made the playoffs. And I think in the NFL, I feel like it's hard to win any game.
Any
So
game. And this year, there was a lot of
right.
parity, bro. A lot of shit happening. But yeah, I
Exactly.
mean, he made plays in these games that he won. I'll give him
Mhm.
credit for that.
Right, for
Texans
sure.
game, Chargers games, Texans game, I think he threw three passing touchdowns versus elite defense. For the
Right.
Chargers, I mean, they just won 16-3. Justin Herbert, master ass performance in that game.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's gone against elite defenses, but in my opinion, this is kind of similar to the Jalen Hurts shit. But Jalen Hurts actually had better numbers.
Yeah. Mhm.
I think he had like the highest completion percentage in the Super Bowl. And then, went toe to toe with Patrick Mahomes, outplayed him. I've seen Jalen Hurts throw up the big numbers, but when we talk about elite quarterbacks and all that, if Drake May goes ahead and beats the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, all right, I'll shut up. But other
Yeah.
than that, I'm not putting too much stock in. I don't think he's better than the Josh Allens, Lamar Jacksons, these other quarterbacks, although he's had success in year two.
Yes. I mean, I I agree. But I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl anyway. If they do, that'll be crazy, but I wouldn't bet on them winning the Super Bowl at all. I think the Seahawks are a far better team.
The Seahawks defense is like there's no holes on this team. Sam Darnold showing you that he could play at a high level too. There's no areas of weakness where you could be like, all right, we could beat him in this area, that area. Because Rashid Shaheed even gonna take the opening kickoff for a
Yeah.
TD on your ass.
He even
They
had a
good everywhere.
he even had an explosive early in the NFC Championship game.
Set the tone, bro. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think the Patriots gonna win. This year's interesting though. I think Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches. Drake May, I think he had a great year. Could win MVP and all that, but This is one of those years. I hate motherfuckers that are just like, "Oh, he's already went to the Super Bowl in year 2. He made a Super Bowl before Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen,
Yeah.
all these other guys." I'm like, "Come on, bro.
Yeah, because I
We
mean
know what it is."
right. Like, Lamar Jackson, he if you look at last year, you had Mark Andrews drop that pass. That's not
Yeah.
Lamar's fault. You have the field goal kicker missed the field goal. I
After he
mean,
hooped,
granted
bro.
yeah, exactly. Granted, he could have put them in a better situation or position, whatever you wanna say, to where they weren't in those situations, but when it comes down to it, you can't really put everything on Lamar like people do, and he gets criticized way more
Way
than
too
he
much.
should, but yeah.
It's crazy, now this playoffs just not having like, I feel like the amount of elite quarterbacks isn't there really. Drake May, I think he's a top 10 quarterback. Sam Darnold, I think he's a top 10 quarterback, but this isn't I know one year it was Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady and Josh Allen versus Mahomes in the
Mhm.
championship weekend. So the elite quarterbacks being in this, being present, it feels different. I fuck with Drake May, but I'm not gonna have him in conversations above the Lamar Jackson's other quarterbacks. He could be top like 7, top 8, maybe. I think after this
Yeah.
playoffs, I'm still taking Caleb over his ass, bruh. Caleb better than
See,
him.
I would too. I'm not gonna lie, I would too.
Caleb with the Patriots winning it all, in my opinion.
Debatable.
I
I just
I'm
think
biased though.
yeah, I know, but but I think with Caleb, once he learns to, like, not have to feel like he has to go for the big play right away, like that interception when he threw it to DJ Moore, and you don't have to get that chunk.
No,
Just take your time, run the ball, go quick game. He's right there.
Mr. Iceman. But switch it over to the NFC side. What were your thoughts on the Rams Seahawks game?
Um, I kind of was going into that game knowing that Seattle was going to win. I
Me
think
too.
when it comes down to games like that, throughout the course of the season, the Rams were a team that showed more mistakes than Seattle did.
Mhm.
And I think once it came to that game and that atmosphere, that setting, that stage, I think that Seattle was going to exploit those mistakes, and I think the mistakes were going to show more so in the Rams than Seattle. So I think that game played out kind of as I expected. And man, JSN,
He's a dog. I'm gonna ask you, like, your top maybe we can get into it right now, but the best receivers in the NFL, I think he might be number 1, man. I think he might be number 1. The one-handed catch was amazing.
bro, everything he does is smooth. Like his athleticism is just like insane. His route running is crazy. It's almost like he runs routes as if he's not even running a route, if that makes sense. He's just finding open space
It's
with it.
crazy. He's gliding, bro.
Yeah, it's insane. But then also like I'll give Puka his flowers too. Like
He was hooping
right,
too.
yeah, he was definitely hooping. And there was a little like spurt where Devontae Adams was getting it going too. But Puka, he once once Tyreek Woolen had that penalty, they went right at him the next play. I was like, that was that's what you have to do in those situations.
Yeah, Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford, they on they shit. They are some of the best to do it. That's why I wasn't mad when the Bears lost to him because I'm like, all right, if we're gonna go out to somebody, let's go out to those guys instead of like LaFleur and Jordan Love ass. But yeah, so Puka, he's a dog. Like this was some of the best receivers in the league. I think Devontae's still in that conversation, but not in
Mhm.
like in the top guys. Like maybe the
No,
later 10, maybe
top
outside looking
15.
in. Top
Yeah,
15, yeah. Cause hey, this season his ass was money in the red zone. I don't know if you've seen on TikTok, but you know those memes where it's like, oh, Devontae Adams, anytime he went over the middle for the Raiders, he was like, hey, I got to get out of here. They trying to kill me.
yeah.
I saw one of those shits today. It was hilarious. But nah, so top 10, I mean, where do you have JSN? Number 1?
Right now, you have to go one. I mean,
Okay.
what he did this year, I think he should be Offensive Player of the Year in the NFC. Um, I mean, no one was able to guard him. He was having 100 yards. I think he only had,
Easy.
like, 2 or 3 games where he didn't have 100 yards, and even those games, he had, like, 5 plus.
Yeah, it's
So he's
a
clearly number
weapon,
1
bro.
right now. Yeah, easily. I have him number 1 right now, and then I'd put Puka at 2.
Okay. Jamar Chase 3?
Yeah, you gotta go Jamar Chase 3. Um, it's hard to put Justin Jefferson 4. He kinda fell off. It's not his
Had
fault.
it no, quarterback, he had Max Brosmer throwing him the ball this year.
Exactly. But I mean, it's it's kinda tough, man, because
I'd have him at 4 or 5 probably in that range.
I'd probably have him at 5. Um,
St.
but
Brown's probably in the conversation too. St. Brown had a really good year this year.
St. Brown, I would put 4, Justin Jefferson 5.
Maybe, CeeDee Lamb?
I mean, I'd put him around, like, 7, 8,
Yeah.
as well as, like, AJ Brown.
Dude, he
But those
fell off too. Yeah.
yeah, the last memory we have of AJ Brown this year, he had, like, 2 or 3 drops.
That shit was crucial too, bro.
Yeah, but I think in the regular season, he had, like, 1 drop or some crazy number, like, he didn't drop too many passes this year.
No. And it was just a down year for everybody with the Eagles. I think Devontae Smith is a top 10 receiver too. He had a great year this year. I think that's somebody that's a dog. Moving forward too, if they trade AJ Brown, yeah, I think it's gonna be Devontae Smith's time for real. He's gonna put up big
Yeah.
numbers. But back to the Seahawks Rams game. I really like the Seahawks team. This is the most complete team I've seen. Clint Kubiak's looking like Ben Johnson and shit, like dialing up great play calls. Mike McDonald is the leader of men you need him to be. So yeah, there's no holes on the Seattle Seahawks team. Stafford, Puka, like you think about it. Clint Kubiak and Sam Darnold went toe to toe with Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford and won.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. So shout out to the Seahawks, man. Great performance by them. I think they're winning it all.
Yeah, easily. I don't see the Patriots beating them.
They might clap them too.
Yeah, it might be a blowout. It might be a blowout. I saw something that said, this might be another boring Super Bowl like the Rams Patriots a few years ago with Tom Brady and, Aaron
That
Donald.
was all defense, bro. That was
Yeah,
all defense.
this one will probably be if it's boring, it'll be a blowout boring.
Like what was
Kinda
it
like,
last year? The Eagles blew out the Chiefs, remember? That shit
yep.
was a but I enjoyed that.
Yeah, a lot of America did. But,
Yeah,
it'll be similar to, if you remember Seattle and Denver, when Seattle blew out Denver when they won their first Super Bowl and they had opened
yeah.
up the second half with the kickoff return. That was bad. That was a blowout.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think the playoffs has kind of like fell off this season without having Mahomes, without having, you know, other teams like Lamar Jackson, these other great teams in the playoffs still? You think they fell off with that?
No, I don't. I think honestly, not to say that it wouldn't have been exciting seeing the Chiefs in because they usually give us a great game, no matter what you think of them. But I think every game was within, especially the first round, first and second round. I think every game was within 1 score. So I mean,
Yeah.
can't complain about that. You can't get mad at that. Those are always good games.
There
When
were
it
some
comes,
battles for sure.
yeah. So I think without Mahomes and the usual teams we see, I think it was still a good playoff.
Yeah, what grade would you give this playoffs?
I give it an A minus.
Okay. Now, if it ends in a blowout, I might bump it down B
Yeah,
plus.
to like a B plus. I give it a B plus if it's a blowout in the Super Bowl.
But yeah, I've been seeing the memes where it's like, oh, you couldn't live with your own failure. What has this brought you to? And it's like, the Patriots. It's like the Chiefs falling, and then it's the Patriots back to them.
Exactly.
It's funny, but I think next year's playoffs is going to be insane. Mahomes, the Ravens, all these AFC teams come back. And then with the new teams that have gotten experience this year, things are going to be like really entertaining, exciting for next playoffs. So I'm excited for next year's run or yeah, next season's run. I think though the Bears being out of the playoffs kind of hurt. And I'm not saying this just as a Bears fan, but Caleb Williams making the magic, like we got
Yeah.
two of the most entertaining playoff games because of the Bears, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
No, for
So
sure.
if they would have faced Seattle, we might have got clapped. Now, I don't know if we would have got clapped, but I think we would have lost.
Yeah, I say that Seattle wins by like 2 possessions, so 10 to
Okay.
14 points.
We got that flukiness, we got that little bit of magic needed to get an upset. Like,
Yeah.
we probably woulda lost, but, like, we woulda had them for a second where they're like, "Oh, shit. They coming." They woulda felt us.
Pause. Pause.
Yeah. They woulda felt us. Um So yeah, that's the one thing that my one gripe with the playoffs. I mean, it is nice seeing new teams get an opportunity. We're gonna get to see Drake May. I hope he doesn't win the chip for obvious reasons. I don't want, another motherfucker to win a chip. They're gonna be like, Drake May won a chip before Caleb Williams. I can see it coming. Nah, I don't need that. I don't need that on my QBs.
Oh, man. What's funny is that I remember, like, going into that draft, I was like, "Man, I can see the Bears drafting Drake May and Bears fans being pissed."
And he turned out to be like I think Drake May's a good quarterback. I think he's more technically sound than Caleb, but
Yeah.
Caleb has more of the superstar magic. Drake May, I think, is gonna be a superstar too, but I think he's just a little more accurate. He gives you a
Caleb
little more. Yeah.
Yeah. Caleb has a higher ceiling for sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was getting right to. I think that ceiling is higher with him. We already
Mhm.
kind of see what Drake May can be, but we
Right.
don't know yet fully what Caleb can be. So exciting with that. But speaking on the Bears, do you think this the future is bright for the Bears? I know people like to say they're gonna be like the Commanders next season. We're not gonna sign a bunch of old
Right.
30-old dudes and shit. So how bright do you think the future is for the Bears?
Honestly, very bright. I tell people all the time, I think the Bears will go to the Super Bowl within these next 3 seasons. I
Okay.
think I would compare them to how you look at the Oklahoma City Thunder right now. Like, everybody's young, and this team is going to be around together for a while, so
Yeah,
I
till
don't
2028, I think that's when Caleb's rookie contract's up, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have him, Colston Loveland was hooping in the playoffs, Luther Burden, the emergence of him. You still got, Rome, he just has to correct some of those drops, him and
Yeah.
Luther. Um, but yeah, I mean, you have a young offense, 2 good running backs. I don't know what they're gonna do with DJ Moore. I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but I think regardless of what happens with that situation, the Bears will be good for years to come. So the future definitely is bright in Chicago.
It's nice. We finally got a squad. I know like every other team's kind of cheeks, the Bulls, it's a
Yeah.
disaster over there. But the Bears are holding on, holding this, and it's nice to see how the city just came behind this team this year.
Mhm.
And I think even with us not winning a Super Bowl, like this season was crazy. You have the game against the Packers, well, the first game against the Packers, second game against the Packers, where DJ Moore touchdown in overtime. Then we beat them, come back and beat them in the playoffs in the first round. It's just been such a magical season. Every game this year, it hasn't been easy.
No.
The Bengals game, even remember where Colson Loveland had that game winning touchdown and shit.
Yeah.
Like this year has been a fever dream.
I mean, a lot of stressful moments for all the
Oh
Bears
yeah,
fans.
I'll never forget this season though.
But yeah, this was
The
definitely one to
cardiac
remember.
Bears.
Yeah.
We just need these motherfuckers to lock in defensively. If we have a good free agency and draft on the defensive side of the ball, we're gonna be a problem.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you guys should go ahead and get Kaden McDonald from Ohio State, D tackle. Correct the linebacker situation. I assume Jaquan Brisker won't be there. Uh, so go ahead
Yeah.
and get a safety. But I mean, Jaquan Brisker, he
He was
played lights
hooping.
in the playoffs. He played lights out in the playoffs. So, but I think once you get those small things corrected, this team will definitely be good for years to come.
I think so too, and I think we just have the most important parts corrected. We got the franchise quarterback. I
Mhm.
trust Ben Johnson. He a little whimsy on the fourth downs, but I trust, bro.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Oh,
hit. He's gonna hit. He's gonna get that corrected because there was a couple plays like we are that close from beating the
yeah.
Rams. For if a couple of those fourth downs we convert, if we get points instead of losing the turnover on downs and stuff, we win that football game. But so I feel confident about us moving forward. How do you think we stack up in the NFC North when everybody gets healthy? Like Micah Parsons back on the Packers, the Lions. When they get fully healthy, how do you think we stack in the North with things fixed?
I think it'll look similar to this year, but I think my only thing is that you may not agree or wanna hear this, but I think a healthy Micah Parsons, you guys may not have won that playoff game.
He
Um,
changes their whole defense. I get it.
yeah, it would've been hard to win that game. But then also, I mean, I don't expect the Lions to be as bad as they were this year. I think they will definitely
I don't
improve
either.
to what they were last season. And once the Vikings figure out this JJ McCarthy situation, they'll be good again. So
Joe Burrow, maybe. You seen the reports, Joe Burrow?
yeah, that would be crazy. Bears
I think
fans
they
would
win the division if they get Joe Burrow, bro. And
Bears
they
fans
keeping
would be
Brian
hot.
Flores.
Man, Bears fans would be hot.
Yeah, that would be a tough blow because they have Flores as an elite defensive coach.
Mhm.
Kevin O'Connell is one of the best. Like our division is stacked with coaches. Kevin O'Connell is an elite coach. You give him Joe Burrow. I mean, even with Carson Wentz, I was worried about them.
Yeah. Luckily they didn't get Joe Brady because that would have been a 2019 LSU reunion.
Well, yeah,
That
that would
would have
have
looked
been
bad
tough.
for everyone. That would have looked bad for everybody.
So, I mean, the North is going to be always a tough division. It's going to be competitive. I personally even could see us losing to the Lions twice a year again next season. Because
Huh.
they just have the momentum in that game's just different. When they see the Bears, they got to prove a point. And they're going to
Yeah,
give us their best every single time, even more than other teams. So
for sure.
we'll see what happens with this division. I like the Bears' chances still. If we could get a Trey Hendrickson in free agency, go get Buddy from Ohio State, we're cooking. We own
Yeah.
that ass. BTA. Uh, but we talked a little bit about receivers, DJ Moore, Rome, and all that. How do
Mhm.
you feel about this Bears receiver room, like moving forward? Who do you think's the number one guy?
I think I have to say Luther Burden because
LB3.
you can see the small spurts of explosiveness that he can create within their offense. And I think he's just a guy that you want the ball in his hands in critical situations, or if you need some chunk yards, you need a big play. I think that's the
Right.
guy you go to. But then on the other hand, I feel like if you want to, Rome is more the deep threat guy. Just go up and get 50-50 balls,
Yeah.
um, passes across the middle. So it will definitely be a great duo. And then you also have Colson Loveland too. I feel like
He's
he's
the
just
best
an
guy.
yeah, even though he's a tight end, he's just a great addition to that receiver room as well, quote unquote. So I mean, just those three alone with Caleb throwing the ball is definitely huge, but I would lean towards Luther Burden being that receiver one.
And even Buddy, the undrafted free agent Jade Walker, bro, he's made some plays too.
Yeah.
He's nice. Um,
Yeah.
so they have options. I think Luther Burden provides you more upside. I think his ceiling's higher. That's gonna be the guy because of the plays he can make. Bro, you see him turn a little, quick catch into 10 yards. Because he's making
Exactly.
that first person miss like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm excited about what he could be. I think he's going to be 1,000-yard receiver, and in this receiver room, I think he leads us in receiving yards next season. Rome, I think he could still be a top 15 receiver in the league, but I
Mhm.
just think he just needs to be that Washington receiver, dude. Cam Newton is gonna make a meme about him if he's not careful.
Oh
If he's
yeah.
not careful, bro. He needs a big year, bro. And I
Mm,
think just a 50-50 ball is like everything he was at Washington. He was a menace at Washington. We need that back in him. I know it can be there too, because to start the season, he was on pace to like break the receiving touchdowns record. Like he was
yeah.
on pace to go crazy. So I'm high on both guys. I think both guys could be 1,000-yard receivers, but I think Luther Burden's the guy moving forward. That brings the question about DJ Moore, though. What are your thoughts on DJ Moore? Will he stay in the Bears or will they trade him?
Well, I just want to start with what happened in the Rams game. Let's start there. I
Okay.
think that a lot of Bears fans want to put the blame on him, like why didn't he try to catch the ball? Why didn't he go for the ball? Which I get it, but it wasn't, in my opinion, I don't think it was all his fault. Um, because if you look at the route, yeah, he could have taken a slightly better angle, but I don't even think he realized like where the safety was. And until the last second, but I believe he had also ran a few deeper routes previous to that play, and I can speak on it that as a receiver, if you run a few deep routes and then you have to run a deep over, as like sometimes it's like, man, whatever happens, happens. Now
Yeah.
I agree he could have at least attempted to get like a pass deflection, play defense a little bit. But, I don't wanna put all the blame on him in that situation, but what made
It
it
was
worse
a
is
crazy
he
call too.
mhm, but, what made it worse is that he didn't talk to any media. He I don't even know if he talked to anybody in the locker room after that situation, so it makes him look bad, and with that being said, that could leave a bad taste in your mouth moving forward, and relationships could start to mold, in a negative way, and, you know, it could end up possibly being like a Brandon Ayuk situation where it's like we haven't heard anything from him. So I think
Yeah.
he would have been fine if he had just took the blame for it, took the high road, taking the blame for it. Then possibly like they would have came together as a team, been better for next year. But how things ended after that game, I think it's likely they move on. Maybe.
And it's been nice. It's nice that Antoine Randall, the receivers coach, he's defended DJ Moore. You see Ben Johnson was like, yeah, that's my fault. So, like I agree with you said, like, yeah, he should have talked to the media. And I think that's the most damning part of about it. If that situation happens, you gotta address the media. You gotta, say what happened and what played into that situation. It was a game ending play.
But on a positive note, I've been seeing a lot of rumors about the Bears trading DJ Moore away to the Raiders for Max Crosby,
I'd
which
take
would
that.
be insane.
Yeah,
That
if
would be
that's
insane.
that's who they want, fine, take them. uh, I fuck with DJ Moore though, and like the hard part about it is he made so many plays for us. So if he stays, cool, I'm fine with it. If he stays, that would be
Yeah.
cool. That's why I say the Trey Hendrickson uh disposition because like you could get Trey Hendrickson without having to trade any draft capital. And you could draft somebody in the first round, keep DJ Moore, restructure his contract. I think has to be the bare minimum of what you do with
Mm.
him. Like less than that, because he can't be making the money he's making with the production dipping as much as it has. But yeah, DJ Moore is just a weird dude. I feel like he's not to say like that's a bad thing, but I think he's just a dude that's not gonna be somebody that gets a lot of positive light from the media and all that because he's more to
Right.
himself, but and you really can't tell whether he's happy or not sometimes. The body language looks bad, but do you think he's still an elite receiver in the league?
I think you can still have a lot of packages for him to get him the ball so he can make plays. Do I think he's a top 15 receiver still? I don't think so. I would give him maybe like top 25. But I mean, there are still things that you can do with him in your offense, like red zone. We saw him produce a lot of big plays, touchdown plays within the red zone, um, or just within the 50-yard line going in. Um, so I mean, you he can still do a lot of different things, but I don't think he's one of those top receivers anymore.
Yeah, it's sad. He's lost some juice, but yeah, I definitely think, in a way, he could be somebody that has 1,000 yards if he's in the right situation. With the Bears is tough because so many mouths to feed. There's gonna be a guy that gets, the short end of the stick each year in terms of
Mhm.
production. But I don't know. They say he's a good team guy. They say, the locker room fucks with him and all that. So who knows? He could stay. If that happens and he stays, I'm cool with it. Just get this defense right. And if you
Yeah.
gotta use him to do that, do it. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, if he stays, because like people are concerned about Rome becoming the number one, Luther becoming the number one, whereas DJ Moore's proven he could be a number one receiver before, and he's a good veteran in the locker room. So we'll see what happens with them. Interested. It's gonna be a long off season. We'll talk about it all off season long. Uh, he hasn't reached AJ Brown level. What's your thoughts on the AJ Brown shit? You think he's gonna get traded?
I think so.
He's
I
got
think
to.
that yeah, that relationship in Philly is over. I think he has caused too many issues. I mean, we saw him argue with the head coach at the end of the season. I mean, there's just been issues with AJ Brown the past couple of seasons, and I think it's just at the point where they have to part ways. It wouldn't make sense to keep him at this point. So I think you put everything into Devontae Smith. You dive into who you expected him to be when you drafted him, who you saw him as in Alabama. Not to say he's gonna be that Heisman caliber player that he once was, but I think having him as a receiver one, I mean, it'll look very good for them.
Yeah, and I think with the offense they wanna run, like, run heavy and all that stuff, it's hard to have 2 guys that are getting, like, 80 plus
Exactly.
catches and stuff and a lot of targets, a lot of attention, so Devontae Smith, I'm excited to see him as a receiver one. I think this season we kinda saw that a little bit. He was out producing, AJ
Yes.
Brown and stuff and showing up big, so what is the destination you like for AJ Brown? I seen Buffalo and Baltimore.
Mm. Yeah, I would like to see him in Buffalo, because they had a lot of receiver issues this past season. Um, Baltimore, they could really use him in
Zay
Baltimore, but I
Flowers
mean,
and
they
him would
could
be nasty.
yeah. But I mean, like, in a weird way, they're similar, like, especially in build, they're similar in that and then play style, but, like, I wouldn't mind him in Pittsburgh either.
Him and DK reuniting, like,
Yeah,
back to that'd be nice.
back in Ole Miss,
Um
yeah.
I would fuck with that. That'd be heat. And then you got McCarthy coaching now, offensive
Mhm.
minded, so they'll be better offensively. So I've seen that rumored, and I think that would make sense. I mean, it'd be nice. But AJ Brown, bro, he's a dog, bro. One of the best receivers in the league, and his ass just the antics is too much. Reading the books on the
Yeah.
sideline and shit. I need to see him get back to dominating, bro.
He's fallen into the wide receiver stereotype of being a diva on the sideline.
Yeah. I
But
personally think though, Baltimore, him and Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry at the running back position, and then you got Zay Flowers. That's what I want to see.
insane,
That's
insane.
what my dream would be. And Mark Andrews, I'd move off of him and bring back Isaiah Likely. Likely's nice. I don't
Mm,
know why
yeah,
they're trying to
was.
keep Mark Andrews.
They would have beaten the Chiefs, if it wasn't for his foot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Uh, and he Isaiah Likely, he just like one of Patrick Mahomes shit on social media, so he could end up with the Chiefs, and that would be terrible. That'd be tough.
Yeah, that
Bro would
wouldn't
be
be
a
good for
dog
me. That
in
wouldn't be good for
Kansas
them. I
City.
mean, honestly, there's a lot of things that can't be good with, what's going on in Kansas City, at least for how everyone will feel about it, but I mean, I see stuff about them getting possibly Jeremiah Love and possibly next season if they tank this year, getting Jeremiah Smith.
Damn, I would do that shit. You have enough chips. All right, now you bring in Isaiah Likely, right? Get Jeremiah
Mhm.
Love this year, and then let Mahomes, regroup, let him get fully healthy. Maybe let him sit the whole season. Fuck it, and then get Jeremiah Smith.
Man.
That's
That'd be
that's
insane.
that'd be peak, right? That's exactly what that's how you should that's how you should retool and all that. And I don't question nothing the Chiefs do. They're a smart franchise. They're, created a dynasty. Mahomes probably be like 32 at that point with like two young studs. Jeremiah Love's gonna be a dog though in the league.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Superstar
yeah.
back. Better than
Dude,
all the backs coming out of college, bro.
yeah, he's insane. He's literally like a ballerina or an ice skater on the football field.
Footwork
Like,
is
what he
insane.
can
Yeah.
do is insane.
Nah, so I think that'd be smart. So final prediction for AJ Brown. Where do you think he's gonna end up this offseason?
I can agree with you on the, Buffalo or, Baltimore. I think both of those teams fit him and what he wants, um, going forward, moving forward with his career. I think Buffalo, he's automatically the receiver one. And then I think him and Zay Flowers would complement each other in Buffalo very well. So I mean, either way, I think both of those landing spots for him would be monumental for this point in his career.
I'm gonna say Baltimore is where he lands. Baltimore is the destiny, but okay, I'm gonna go Buffalo. I think Buffalo is where he ends up. Joe Brady as a head coach now, and you want this offense. You want to get Josh Allen a weapon because that's what's been costing him. So I think AJ Brown is the guy they bring in. It's crazy, you know the memes. Stephon Diggs got to a Super Bowl before Josh Allen. Get
I saw
crazy,
that.
bro. To wrap
Mm.
things up, though, do you have a hot take of the week?
Mm. Hot take of the week. Football or
Anything, whatever's on your mind.
my hot take of the week? Well, I think that I don't even know if that's really a hot take, but I don't really think Fernando Mendoza is gonna be good in the NFL.
I think it could be a Sam Darnold situation where the Raiders he fails with the Raiders and goes somewhere else and succeeds. He's an interesting dude for sure, though.
Yeah, yeah, man. I don't know. He's different. He's a different kind of guy.
He posted on his LinkedIn after winning the title, like open for work or whatever he said.
Yeah.
I don't know. I worry about the Raiders. I don't know if they're like, me and my brother were talking about it. It's like a Bears situation where is this an organization that's built to, have a franchise quarterback be developed and grown? You know what I mean?
Right.
I like
I don't think so.
yeah, I don't either. It could be where quarterbacks go to die. I mean, Geno Smith, pumpkin mode immediately in year one. So we'll see. I like that take though. I could see it. Like I said though, Sam Darnold situation though.
Yeah, I can see that
For me,
over the years.
yeah, for me, I think this is gonna be basketball. Kobe White gets sent to the Rockets, and Kevin Durant, Kobe White, they go crazy. I think they make it to the Western Conference Finals,
Mm.
and it's
Who do the
them
Bucks get it
and
for?
Jabari Smith. We probably get a forward. Jabari Smith, he has like a high ceiling still. He's kind of cheeks
Mhm.
right now, but I see the
Yeah.
vision of him. We throw
Yeah,
Pat
yeah,
Williams in there just cause Pat
yeah.
Williams, Kobe White, and give us Jabari Smith and a first round pick. You know, I
Man,
think I think we do that.
I'm seeing a lot of Giannis to the Warriors, man. He said he wants out by February 5th. That would be insane.
The Warriors have to do something, bro. They have to
Yeah,
do
they do.
something.
They do.
So
They're wasting Steph Curry's prime right now.
the funny thing to me though is people say, all right, if they trade for a star, they have a big three. And they include Draymond Green in the big three though.
I mean, in terms of him being the leader and the anchor on
Okay.
that team that he is, you have to give him that respect. He's been that piece, that huge piece in their dynasty. So I mean, in a way, the versatility that is in his game, he can guard 1 through 5.
Yeah.
I think you have to give him that respect a little bit. Even though he's not the player he used to be. Go ahead.
Giannis and Steph Curry, that might be enough. I might need to see that.
Yeah. That would be must see TV.
Is that enough to beat the Thunder though?
It'd be tough, but I think they could just based off of how the Thunder's offense is being ran right now. They rely a lot on transition. Um, they something about their offense kind of gives me a feeling that somebody's eventually going to figure them out. And I mean, before playoffs. And I don't, at first I saw like at the beginning of the year, I'm like, man, I don't see anybody beating them. I think they'll go back to back. But now that the season is going on, I don't know. I think I can see a team beating them when it comes to playoff time.
I think so too, and if they have to face the Spurs, like, a second round or something like that, they're losing, in my opinion.
Yeah,
They're
I
losing.
think the Spurs have them figured out.
So, we'll see what happens with that. I think Giannis to the Warriors or Knicks will be fun. NBA, hopefully I think that's the biggest thing that needs to happen for the trade deadline to be exciting, and we could get to another point where we're like, we're not even talking about the Super Bowl because of the trade deadlines taking up all the
Right,
attention like it was
right.
last year. When
Yeah.
what was that? Luka got traded, a bunch
Yep.
of other shit yeah, so hopefully that's the case again because Super Bowl content might be a little dry. Motherfuckers gonna be like, "Yeah, the Seahawks gonna win by 34, 34."
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it. That's all
Yeah.
the coverage. Oh, but that's all we got for the show today, guys. Appreciate you for coming on once again, Zach. Great
No, appreciate
content for you
it.
guys. We'll be covering, college football moving forward, the Super Bowl, NBA, all that stuff for you guys. Make sure to stay updated. Like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Like and subscribe on Chi-Town Blitz as well. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. As always, peace. Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.